Welcome to Peri-Pigs, the podcast where two perimenopausal besties, Veronica Pig and Penelope Pig, survive hot flushes, brain fog and midlife mayhem together, one oink at a time.
So if you've laughed, cried or screamed at absolutely nothing this week, you're in the right sty. Let's oink about it. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to the Peri-Pigs on tour.
This is a very, very special episode, isn't it, Penelope? Can you tell us why?
Well, it's special because it's Sunday, and it's special because last time we did the pod, or as we always do the pod, we sit in our pod space at home, and we were joined by the dogs last episode, or was that 2 episodes ago? 2 episodes ago, I think.
Can't remember. We're Peri. We don't know.
Peri. We can't remember anything. But this time, we're lounging.
We're lounging.
We're lounging in the beautiful sun and the warmth
of Corfu,
looking out over the sea and the mountains.
So if there is any sound disruptions, that could possibly be a cocktail being brought to us, because it's a very posh hotel where people actually bring you alcohol, which is so wonderful. Or we've made a new friend, haven't we? Well, we've gone further than friendship with this one.
We've talked adoption.
Yeah,
we have talked adoption.
So the rep here, our lovely Sophia, she's 19 and she's been here a few weeks. It's not for her, so she's handed a notice in already. But we met her on the stretching class, didn't we? Because we were trying to be healthy in between our cocktails, in between our cockies. And we started chatting to her, and yeah, she really stuck with me in my head, because it's that sort of, I think she's so brave for coming out here at 19 on her own and trying it, and it's just not for her, which is fine. So we felt like a bit of a motherly love towards her, didn't we? That we just wanted to protect her, and this is kind of like where the pod comes from, because we were saying to her, you know, that all these things will come to you, and you get to this age, and the positive of this part of your life is you've got that life experience where you can reassure the younger generation and stuff, and you can give them some good advice, and that's quite empowering, isn't it? Like, out of all of the rubbish stuff you get, you can actually like have that life experience to give people good advice.
It's a bit
Who
like...
would have thought?
Yeah, you know...
From us too.
A lot of people often say, if you could live life again, if you were 20 again now, what would you do differently? Because when you're a Peri-Pig and you're in your 40s, you do have this desire to be young again, so that you can go back and do all those things again. So I think our advice to her, wasn't it, was, if it's not for you, it's okay just to go, it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's not quitting, it's not being weak, it's actually going, do you know what? I've got my whole life ahead of me. Why waste time? Time is precious.
Yeah, it is. And even more so now in midlife. You don't want to do the things you don't want to do.
No,
you
why
want to
would
do
you?
the things that make you happy. And yeah, all power to her, because she tried it. Wasn't for her. She'll go and do something else now.
Well, she's going to come and live with us, isn't she?
Well,
That's what she's going to do now.
full adoption. So we're going to I'll have her for a week, you have her for a week.
Yep, joint custody of our 19-year-old child.
Plus, she's very, very beautiful, isn't she?
She's very beautiful.
I don't know if we could have actually spawned ourselves such a beautiful daughter. So I'm very happy to adopt at this point.
Yeah, I'm proud of our child.
And also, so one of the other things that has come to us on this holiday, we're going to go back and forth, I think, with this, because we've got so much to talk about. But we'll go back onto like how we got here and the journey that sort of led us to before we got to this comfortable place on the sun loungers.
Well, when you're younger, so go back to when you're younger, be it single younger or coupled up younger, whatever, or even when we've just been on a holiday, probably when we've been on a holiday just on our own, even at like a similar age that we are now, it shouldn't be that difficult. You should be excited about going on holiday, and it shouldn't be so hard to prepare yourself to simply pack a suitcase to get on a flight and go on holiday. But wasn't last week traumatic?
So traumatic. There was so much to do. It was very, very stressful, and I hate that bit before a holiday, because you have so much on your shoulders, don't you? Getting everything ready, getting the house sorted, clothes washed, and all the boring stuff, just to get out for, a measly 7 days. It's never enough, is it?
No.
But funny enough, we were talking to someone sort of in the age group earlier today, weren't we? And she was saying she can't wait to get home because she just wants her home comfort. She likes being at home, you know, and it was
Wants her
enough for
routine back.
I'm the total opposite. I could live here.
Oh, it's glorious, isn't
I'd
it?
become an alcoholic because they just keep bringing me drinks.
But it's not alcoholism with intent, is it? It's like you get up in the morning and you have your breakfast or whatever it is that we do, and then you come and sit on your sunlounger with the best of intentions to just lounge, drink your water that you filled up when you bring it down with you, and then along pops a lovely person with a tray saying, "Would you like a drink? Can I get you some drinks, ladies?"
And you feel rude not to, don't you?
Well, we felt rude to ask it first because we're used to being those people. We're the fetchers. We're life's fetchers. Back to that whole looking after everybody. So some of the stress of coming on holiday, we absolutely put down to the fact that we weren't just getting ourselves ready to go on holiday. We had to get our homes ready because we've mentioned this before. We've both got animals, and those animals have to be cared for while we're away. And we're both lucky enough in different ways to have people, paid or otherwise, that are staying in our homes to look after our animals. So you have to get your house in a certain level of cleanliness, especially with being the fussers that we are, as it is.
And that's the stressful bit. And then you come here and then all of a sudden, someone's been looking after us.
I've not made my bed for days.
I know.
I've not cooked a thing.
Yeah. I've not cleaned a bathroom.
I've made a coffee.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I've made
haven't
some
even done that.
No, as your husband. I can't even say husband.
Yeah.
He's done that for you, isn't he? Whereas mine, not that he wouldn't, but I'm just happen to be the one that's up
It
first.
just feels so alien, doesn't it, to have people looking like here, you feel really looked after. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but we've got an aeroplane going over us at the moment.
And a flock of birds.
Proof that we are here.
We're not lying.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's taken some getting used to actually not being.
I've not washed up.
Yeah.
I've not packed the dishwasher. I've not washed anything. In your lovely hotel room where you've not had to do anything, have you had a clothes mountain in your room that you've had to deal with?
No, because that is the one thing I have been doing, is I've been keeping very much on top of it. And so that's for me and Hogsband, because it's that thing of going, well, there's going to be someone to come in every day to clean the room. I can't let them see that's there. So I have been doing the tidying up and cleaning up, and it has bothered me, and I have been a little bit muttery in my head about it, because it's like, well, why are you okay with leaving that and I'm not? I just think it's rude. This way I could never have a cleaner. Like, I'd love to be able to afford a cleaner because I hate doing all those things, but I would end up cleaning before the cleaner came.
People do, and we played the laundry game. You know, the laundry game we talked about that you mentioned before. We went through this morning. I've tried to let things wash over me a little bit this week and not bother me, but this morning it was like, okay, so sadly we're going home tomorrow, and it was like, okay, well, what clothes are clean and what clothes are dirty? And we've been putting dirty clothes in a dirty clothes bag, but then there were still a few items on the chair in the room that I was like, right, what's this? Is this going to be reworn? Is this going in the wash? And then he just stands there and he looks at me, and it's like, here we are going through the laundry game again. But it was very quick, it wasn't too bad, and we very quickly deciphered what's going in the laundry and what's not. Basically everything. Because I've had to pick his outfit for him tonight already. Have you picked your husband's outfit, or does he pick his own? Well,
I obviously picked the clothes that came out with him. And
didn't you repack?
Yes,
didn't
I
you
did.
Let him,
yeah.
You let him
I
pack?
pretended that he was allowed to do it himself, and then I tried to hold back, and then I was like, nope. So I went in there. So pants. When you go on holiday,
Yep.
We seem to talk a lot about pants, but you know, it's that sort of age. You see a lot of this online, people joking, going, you're away for a 7-day holiday, so you have to pack like 20 pairs of pants just in case you shit your pants every day.
Yes.
And it's like this ongoing
or sweaty
joke,
pants.
isn't it? Well, that's my thing.
So
I just
sweaty,
think if you're hot,
yeah.
and if you're not in your swimwear and you're wearing pants in the day,
you can't wear those same pants in the evening.
No, you've got to change.
It's rotten.
Exactly. So that's why you need to double up. It's not the shit in your pants thing. It's about it's about sort of just feeling fresh, isn't it? But funny enough, luckily, have been in swimwear most days. Going on to swimwear, how have you? What's your body image like on this holiday?
We've gone through every emotion. So Arrival, fine. We rocked up to the airport considering the trauma of 48-hour preparation and having to get up extremely early at 2:30 a.m. I think we got up, didn't we, on Monday last week to get ready. We put ourselves together quite nicely for the airport, didn't we?
Yeah.
We didn't just shove on something shitty. Like we went looking quite nice, didn't we, to the airport? So I felt quite good on arrival. Probably the first couple of days I felt okay. And then I woke up in full Penelope mode, didn't I, one day?
Yeah, I think that was yesterday.
Or the day before,
today
even.
when we were doing our mind and body class, you announced to the group...
I'm the fattest person in Corfu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which every woman there...
laughed at me.
Done a little laugh because A, it's not true, but B, they all feel like that themselves.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
sure of it. Because they all relate, so they don't... Nothing more has to be said other than the laugh of, I know, me too.
Because I feel very, like we said, there was a girl we've been talking to who was saying about her routine and all that sort of stuff. And she was saying she's obviously quite a health and fitness person. She's been going running.
Yeah.
She is fabulous.
Amazing.
Shout out to Laura.
Yes.
Laura's been getting up and running most days, isn't she? And then I think when we had that rainy day, I did clock her she was in the gym, wasn't she? And she was saying that even down to the food she's been eating, she's been trying to not overindulge and not eat puddings and things. And as soon as you start eating those foods, those processed foods or those sugary foods or whatever that you don't have at home, you do feel so bloated. And I think that's me, I'm bloated.
Yeah. It's like, like they say with addictions, so every other addiction, like alcohol, drugs or anything, you can abstain for the rest of your life and you just don't have them ever again. Stuff like if you're addicted to food, which I think a lot of people are in this life, you can never completely abstain from food.
No.
So a buffet is your worst nightmare, isn't
buffet, it is like navigating.
All good intentions you go in with.
You can't be trusted.
Nope.
No one can be trusted in a buffet.
But also, I'm gonna use my hormone card here.
Okay,
in
put
the
it
game.
up. Put it up.
Hormone card. Sometimes, as a woman, you do need that sugar. It's not just about food addiction. You
energy.
actually need it.
You do.
More energy, more passion.
More energy, more passion.
More footwork. But yeah, you do. You need it. And so, you just need a little bit of sweet afterwards to stop that food lull as well. Because if you've carved up as well, you can go into a bit of a... Mind you, we have had a lot of cocktails which have been fruit juice
Well,
based,
let's be
so
fair. I think we've been quite restrained with the food to a degree. I've definitely had more on my plate than I would have on your average dinner plate at home. But other than one day where I was a bit hungover and I had 2 plates of food for my lunch, we've had 1 plate of food and then 1 dessert. And our dessert has been very reasonable.
Yeah.
A very small dessert portion, whereas the husbands have got a little bit more excited. You've got a savoury, excitable husband who has probably had a good 2 plates of dinner, all the meats, because he loves a bit of meat. My husband is like a child that he's been eating quite sensible dinners, actually. There's been more vegetables and goodness on his plate than the rest of us put together, really. However, he's gone for 3 pudding plates some days. The excitement on his face.
Well, that's his
But we've
bag,
enjoyed
isn't it?
watching him do it.
He's not a drinker. He doesn't drink, so his food is his thing, isn't it? That's his, and so you can allow that.
He's found a new love for panna cotta on this holiday, and he likes to talk us through it as well, doesn't he?
So before I came away, I've lost all this weight and I had to buy all new swimwear, and I bought some several swimwear things off of Vinted, and I bought this one, and it was like a high-waisted bikini, and I don't really know what size I am anymore, so I'd bought it thinking it was the right size, but actually it turns out I'm too thin.
You are.
Too thin for it, so it was very, very baggy, and I had this thing where I've lost all this weight on my boobs, and so my boobs are like if you put a snooker ball in a sock. I'd liken it to that. So they sort of hang
They just sit there.
Hang like these blooming udders, and so it's when you're doing the manoeuvre on the sunbed and you do the roll, and so you're sort of on all fours at one point, and it's usually I've not experienced this sort of hang that happens and this loose skin. So then where this bikini top wasn't fitting very well, I would sit there and then it's I had to uncrease my cleavage because it was the skin was all bunching. Anyway, I digress. I went to the bar one day, and because this bikini top is so baggy on me, if I manoeuvre in the wrong way, the back unclips. So I'd gone to the bar, I'd put my cover up on, but it's like a see-through cover up. And then I think we always feel like you've got this bubble where everyone's staring at you. And it's usually like you just feel humiliated, usually, don't you? Because it's like, oh, people look at me because I'm just a pig waddling to the bar. And so that's where my head was. And then there was this slight moment of going, do I look really good in my new swimming, like my new swimwear? And then I got back to the sunbeds, and then I realised the bikini top was open at the back. And so I was like, have I just walked to the bar with my tits hanging out the bottom of the open bikini top? And I just have to not think, I just have to delete that from the memory. You wouldn't have noticed because we're just a couple of pigs that don't notice this stuff. But I do have this fear that I literally walked there with the bikini top above the nipple line and the tits hanging down like a couple of round udders. And maybe that's why maybe the stares were real and people were looking going, I can't believe the confidence of that woman just walking along with her udders.
I don't think that was the case, but I get the feeling, because once you notice it, you're like, how could anybody else not notice it?
Yeah.
I had a slightly similar experience where I was putting on my sun cream. I've got like a swimming costume on. And I was putting on my sun cream and I instantly sort of pulled the front of my swimming costume out a little bit to sun cream like the boob, because I've got like this little gap bit down the front, and I innocently was just there creaming away, and of course my husband, who is as he is, just shouts nipple.
He went, oh, nipple.
He did, you heard, and pointed at me, because apparently...
And you went into denial.
I did go into denial.
And you were like, no, and he wouldn't have shouted that if he hadn't have seen it.
Well, I don't know
because
if
it's almost like a nipple Tourette's with men, isn't it?
It was.
Or a booby
I don't know if it's
Tourette's.
just because he was sat to the side of me, and as I pulled my swimming costume forward, he's got a bit of a glimpse. But yeah, so we both had them out,
Did you just literally have we don't know?
Oh, I don't really know. I don't feel that I did. I didn't feel like it was there. I didn't get like a cross breeze or anything like that that made me feel that way.
We've also moved, you have to move on, because you just have to pretend it didn't happen, because if it was real and I did do that and you did do that,
then everybody's seen everything that they don't need to be seeing. The other thing that we've both noticed that's been happening a lot this holiday, which is really not funny, is sitting down in certain positions when you've got your swimmer on. We keep giving ourselves a round of applause with our thighs.
Yes! We've sat down and clapped. We've sat down and clapped.
Because we've got to that, you get to that place where we've both...
It's the baggy skin, isn't it?
Well, it is baggy skin, but also we keep saying this, we've always had these very different body shapes. They're very opposite body shapes, and it's like we're morphing into this one person over time, because we seem to have both met in the middle somewhere of our body shapes, and we've both got like saggy baggy bits in the same place, namely our inner thigh. We've got the bum spread that we've been talking about, when you sit down and it all spreads out to the sides.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then you've got this inner thigh right at the top where you think your legs look quite good. You've got this thigh gap, but little do you know that you sit down and there's this almighty clap.
So the other thing, right, whilst we're remembering all of these things, so in the stretching class, stroke yoga, stroke whatever they are each day, and so you go into like child pose, it's quite yoga-y, wasn't
positions,
it?
Yeah.
And so at one point we had to stand and like you reach down to your toes, and I'm always quite impressed with myself at how flexible I am. However, when your head is hanging, looking at your own knees, I've got saggy old lady knees.
Do we need to have them operated on?
I've seen that you can buy tapes, but in certain
How
clothing...
are you supposed to do that?
Well, you kind of like tape it and then pull and then stick it up
That'd be
again.
no good with your play suit, would it?
But yeah,
You'd
I've
have to tape it to your
got
stomach.
saggy old lady knees.
I'm looking at my knees now.
So I don't know, I need a knee lift is the next thing on the list.
Okay, knee lift, thigh lift.
Did you notice
neck
anything
clip.
on your person as you were doing these stretches? Because you don't get in that position normally, do you? Where you'd stand there and stare at your own knees.
Unfortunately not, no.
As you bent over.
No, hadn't noticed that at all. Mainly the thigh clapping has definitely been a problem throughout this experience.
So we've had a couple of rainy days, and so yesterday was a bit of a rainy day to start off with, and then it came out really beautiful, just like it's come out today, really nice, later on in the day. So we decided that we were going to go and hire a speedboat. And we were like, OK, we'll get one with a little roof, so if it rains, we'll be OK. So off the four of us trotted, winking away in our little boat, all very excited. And then the lady, the boat lady, gave us a really nice compliment, and she looked at all four of us and said, she goes, "You don't look British, you look Greek." And we were like, "Oh, thank you, that means we have got a bit of a tan." And we're like...
It's the dark hair that we both...
You instantly feel a little bit more sophisticated if you've been called... If someone says you look Greek, it's like, I feel like you probably look more sophisticated than the usual British.
Yes.
Because usually we are the lager swilling, cocktail, like, knocking back people, which we have been, but she had no idea. So that was good. But we went out on this boat and we basically hit the eye of the storm whilst we were out at sea, didn't we? And so as we were there, sheltering under this tiny, tiny canopy, which on reflection isn't actually for rain, it's probably more of a sun canopy.
It's a sun canopy.
So we had my husband, he was captain.
Well, it's focused for the captain. That canopy is to protect the captain.
Yes, and not the passengers.
Not
but the passengers ended up, so you being the smallest of the four, had to go in the footwell, essentially, of the...
Wrapped in a towel, looking like a slug. Yep, that's me.
And then, so we're all wrapped in towels. We're screaming. We think that the end is nigh because we're in the middle of this storm out at sea, complete novices having no idea what the bloody hell we're doing. But we were going, it's almost like the throes of perimenopause. We were like, this is the ultimate boat trip to show perimenopause, because soon after that, we got through the eye of the storm and it was beautiful,
basking
sunny,
in the sun.
Like the waves went, and then we were like, let's cut the engine and just bob about here, and it was absolutely glorious. And we're like, isn't it like the perfect, what's the word, analogy?
Yes, because it was like the hot flush moment. We were 1 minute you're wrapped in a soaking wet towel, shivering. And then the next minute you're like, get it all off me.
Yeah.
Get it all off me. I need all my clothes off and everything.
Were off, tops were off.
Yep.
Get in the sun, happy little faces. So the snouts, the little piggy ears and the piggy tails disappeared into thin air. And there we were back again, happy little pigs. Happy little faces on there.
A reflection, isn't it, of how the mood changes.
Within minutes.
Yeah.
Within minutes.
Fascinating.
But we did sort of say at the end of it, again, our endurance like shone through. We still managed to be laughing about it, even when you were looking like a slug wrapped up and like in the footwell of a boat. We still were laughing through it.
Well, that's what we've learned. We talk about this in the episodes, don't we? How I think prior to the podcast being born, we would really struggle with everything that we go through, that we couldn't find a funny side to it, and it made us really like kind of low and down and miserable for a while, didn't we? I mean, all we did was think about the rubbish things in life, whereas now we're very much like, no matter what it is that's being thrown at us with this Peri, you can't do anything about it. You can try and look after yourself and do all those things, but ultimately you can't do anything about it. It's going to hit you, so you have to find humour in it. You've got to find those funny moments.
Yeah.
And that's what we do now. We just get hysterical.
Yeah.
And it is funny. I've laughed so much this week.
I have as well, and I think because you take away all of the external... We always talk about external pressures, don't we? Having to show up for work, having to show up for your family, having to...
Look after your pets.
You know, lifing. And so you take the lifing away, and it is so much easier, isn't it? Like...
Well, we've not had... The only thing we've had to think about every morning this week... So we wake up in our rooms, because we had to share rooms with our husbands. We didn't share a room with each other, which is very upsetting. So we get up in the morning and we message each other. Are you awake? Are you awake? What time should we go for breakfast or go stretching? And then you get up and you put a bit of face powder on. Put your sunglasses on, put your hat on.
Yeah.
And you that's it. There's none of this, like, preparation that you've got to do and, we're going to take the dogs out for a walk first, or we've got to feed the animals, or you've got some chores to do. It's like, we can be ready in 10 minutes, because there's nothing else that we have to do right now for anyone.
That's it. It's fabulous. Isn't it? Oh, we've got a duck walking up.
Oh, hello, ducky poos.
Well, they're sort of we've called them turkey ducks.
Turkey ducks.
They're sort of half turkey, half duck.
That one's got like a superhero mask on.
Yeah, like a red eye mask.
It's quite odd.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't me farting. That was my feet moving on the sunlounger. Yeah, we've got some ducks in the grounds, haven't we?
We've had cats. We've had lots of cat moments.
Fireflies. They were adorable, weren't they? The little sparkly fireflies at night time.
And I think you have like this new, again, you have a new appreciation of little things like that on your holiday, don't you?
Well, because you just stop. We're just stopped. I can't remember the last time I just stopped and was just at one with
nature
and the surroundings. It's marvellous.
So what else have we discovered on this Holly Bobs? So we have to mention about the chaos of the airport, right? And dealing with that rage. So we both had the rage on the plane. So flight had been delayed for an hour.
Which we did get told the night before, but it was too late to kind of do anything about it because we already had a taxi booked.
Still had to get up at the same time. That was fine. You can deal with that. It's an extra hour, whatever. However, so then when we landed, so it's a 3-hour flight, you land, you know, you get all excited going, oh, we're here, finally we're here. Then they put the announcement out and we can see people queuing out of the airport onto like the runway bits because something to do with the passport control and stuff. And so we basically were on that plane, landed for 2 hours, weren't we, before they let us off.
We were captive on a plane in air conditioning. They decided it would be much more appropriate to leave us on the plane in the air conditioning than let us off and stand outside.
Yeah.
I could sense your rage up the plane.
Yeah,
because at this point we were sat,
together,
3 rows apart.
We knew.
Didn't have your phone signal and your phone didn't stuff at that point. And I just felt you. I felt your presence.
I could feel you as well. I knew exactly what you were going through. Because A, it was really, really cold. B, we're here and we want to start on holiday now, thank you very much.
And we've just been separated for 3 hours.
Well, yeah.
It wasn't appropriate.
And then the other bit of me was, I started because like, we've talked before about probably being quite controlling in our lives because you have to be controlling to kind of survive.
To keep on top of everything, yeah.
And you have to do things in a certain way. And I kept thinking to myself, if I was at the front of the plane or the back of the plane where the staff are, I kind of got so wound up by it. I was thinking, I would be turning around saying to them right now, going, you can't hold us against our will. You have to let us off the plane. Like, you can't, you're recommending it, but it's my choice.
You can't make me.
Exactly. So it's like, well, I would like to leave the plane and join the queue in the sun. I don't want to be on here. I'm really cold. I'm a perimenopausal pig. You don't want that on here.
You don't need that on your plane. Like, no, it's not safe.
Because I don't know what when the blowout is going to be. And there could be a scream, there could be a Karen moment where I go completely apeshit. So it's like, you're safer all round. Health and safety, let us off.
Yeah.
But we were stuck sort of in the middle of the plane, weren't we? So we couldn't have those sort of conversations. And then I think I want to talk through these things. So I was sort of saying a lot of this to my husband, and he was remaining quite quiet because he's trying to remain calm and probably trying to keep me calm.
Because he knows that when she blows, she blows.
Yeah, but then so when he got here, he then got very, very quiet and very, very drunk. So I think it was almost then it was his release because he's thinking, well, I'm annoyed about it too, but you rabbiting on about it, going on and on, it's not going to change it. I can't help it though.
You have to vocalise.
Is that a female-male thing or is it just your own character?
I feel that the women that I know, not just you and me, but the women that I know, we do like to vocalise these things. I get sometimes we don't know when to just shut up, but we like to just vocalise how we're feeling. Whereas men, it feels, again from the men that we know, they have this internal thing and they don't let it out. So it comes out all weird. They go into silence, which is something that we are not familiar with.
No,
are we?
Because I suppose they've got like a control over it, whereas we don't through the old peri or the pause.
Very true.
It just that you get.
It's the hormones talking, yeah.
And then just like on the boat, you can be as miserable as hell, and then the next 5 minutes later, you're like la 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 la. I'm on holiday, and you're absolutely fine again.
Oompa.
It must be hard for them.
Yeah.
Oh, so the big win of the holiday is we did finally take the karaoke on tour, didn't we?
We did take the karaoke on tour, all of us, and we entertained the masses with our karaoke, which I thought was hilarious.
Gala, what was the song?
Free from desire.
And we done really well, didn't we? We might have to release the audio.
We could release the audio. We could release it as a single, to be fair.
It was
Why
that
not?
good. You might have to be a bit drunk to kind of really appreciate it when you listen to it, but it's there, and it
It's
wasn't
there, we did it.
horrendous.
We went out of our comfort zone, didn't we? Because we're away from home. If you were at home, I don't know that we would have, like,
You wouldn't do
been
it
so
at Christmas.
up for
Well, it's
it.
Christmas do, would you?
I danced on the first night we were here. I did some skipping,
You did. You
I was a
entered the
skipping pig.
Yes.
wasn't I? Skipping pig when we first got here that night. You loved that.
I did. I was really cheering. Oh, I can see who have I just spotted in the background over there?
Oh, is it Manny?
Yeah. So Manny is a German Simply Red Mick Hucknall impersonator.
Fabulous hair,
I am
tiny
person-
cedos.
I'm personally a little bit in love with him because I just think he was... Obviously, he'd done the karaoke and then straight away I was like, he has got to be a professional impersonator or tribute act. And so luckily my husband speaks German, so we started chatting to them. And he is, and he's been doing it a year and a half. But it's like, he was literally just born to be Mick Hucknall.
He's fabulous, isn't he? And last night, when obviously you've got the hotel cheesy entertainment every night, which is fabulous. Last night it was some traditional Greek dancing, and they were very good because they got the whole audience up, minus our hogspans who refused to get up. And we had to get in these big sort of human chains of hand holding. So of course we're right next to each other, can't let go of each other. And then lo and behold, Manny came up and held my hand, and I was hand in hand with this man with the
Mick
fabulous
Hucknall.
hair for
The
15
Mick
minutes. You were riddled with jealousy. I think your husband was riddled with jealousy.
Yeah, because I think he's got a bit of a man crush on him as well.
So there we are, trotting around the dance floor with these Greek people, getting ourselves ever so confused because they would tell you
think
the
it's-
instructions and then we'd forget them instantly.
Because when he sung originally, you know, like when we've done the tribute acts, like the Whitney tribute, and if you're a little bit drunk, the longer the evening goes on, the more I genuinely believe it's the real Whitney.
Yes,
I
yes.
genuinely believe that's the real Mick, and because I haven't really been sober since then,
In your
I
mind,
still-
he's still a celebrity,
I'm
isn't
literally
he?
looking at Mick Hucknall walking along in his budgie smugglers. It's quite.
Not many men wear a budgie smuggler anymore,
But if
do
you
they?
do it and you
Own
go,
it.
yes.
Own your
And
budgie
I think
smugglers.
and my husband always says this to me, like, you know, when you try something on, you go, oh, is it all right? Is it mutton dressed as lamb? Do I look okay? And he always looks at me and goes, own it. You know, yes, you look good, but I realise you're not comfortable with it.
Well, you went through
Own
this
it.
last night, didn't you? Because you came out last night ready for dinner. We did a little bit of afternoon drinking yesterday and got ourselves in a little bit of a pickle, didn't we? Because we ended up accidentally doubled up on cocktails at one point through no fault or choice of our own, but we took them gladly. And then we went and got dressed for dinner, and you came out looking absolutely stunning in this beautiful sort of floral lacy playsuit that just looks stunning. And straight away you came out with this little face on you that you knew you looked nice, but you were very it's too short. You were upset about how short and dressy it was.
Mutton dressed as lamb.
No.
Because I felt like it was just a bit too short, so a bit too young. But also, and I have to be brave saying this now, when I sat down, there was a bit of a crushing of the undercarriage.
Oh, yes, you did crush your undercarriage a little bit because it was
Whilst
quite short
hung
on the
very
body.
nicely stood up. It was a standing up type of an outfit. And I cannot deal with that kind of uncomfortableness.
I don't think this is something that's discussed very often because men always talk about the balls getting crushed, don't they? And you can understand it. It's this fruit basket of genitalia that just kind of sits there and gets crushed all the time, isn't it? And I get how that can get squished and squashed. But nobody talks about how our area can get somewhat squishy-squashied.
Yes.
We talked, didn't we, both about how when you're working, you don't generally, as a woman, wear jeans to work or anything like that, whether you're at work
If
in
you
an
sat
office or
down,
at
no.
home. And we've both done it where you think, oh, I'm going somewhere in my lunch break or I'm going somewhere after work and I'm working from home, so I'll put my jeans on now so I haven't got to get changed. And you sit there and think, I can't sit there in a pair of jeans.
No.
Because they've got that hard knobbly bit in the
Yeah.
crotch.
Well, and everything, yeah.
And that gets worse with age. This is the conversation we were having last night.
Yeah.
Is how has that changed so much down there?
There is changes, isn't there?
Yes.
And I just don't know if it's is it a sensory thing where you just can't be uncomfortable anymore? It's like shoes. Like, not
Okay.
a single heel has been bought on this holiday. And years ago, you'd go on holiday.
Your lovely
and you'd
strappy sandals.
Your wedges. Your wedges or your heels, and you'd insist on sort of wearing them. And now it's like, well, the fashion has changed as well, and like younger people don't really wear heels that much anymore either. But I refuse on my holiday to cram my foot into an uncomfortable heel.
I can't really remember the last time I wore a pair of heels regardless. In fact, no, that's a lie. I can. The last time I wore a pair of heeled shoes was when I went to that wedding. Because it's like I've got this lovely dress, if you remember the dress, the Karen Millen that I treated myself to, and I had to wear a stiletto, lovely shoe. And
Did they come off?
No, they didn't. They were okay. I think I drank my way through it, but it's like that was the last time I wore a heeled shoe. Because you just can't. And I can remember being younger thinking, I'm never going to be that woman that stops wearing a heel.
And wears a comfortable shoe.
What's
Pavers
the problem here?
Or Clarks.
Yeah, why would you suddenly not be able to walk in a heel, wear a heel? Well, it's happened.
I have a Pavers pair of trainers, as you know, lovely florals, and they're knackered now, and I really need to replace them. And I will be back at Pavers because they were just so comfortable, or possibly even a Sketcher.
Where does it change? Where is that turn where you have to go from style to comfort?
Is it sensory, like where you just can't bear the feeling of being uncomfortable? Or is it just that less fucks are given because you don't care what people think of you?
Well, I think it's both, isn't it? You'll go through the pain of certain things for a certain amount of time, and then you get to that point where you go, no, I absolutely cannot and will not be uncomfortable for other people, i.e. I don't care what other people think. You do care what other people think, and you want to look nice, and you don't want to look like mutton dressed as lamb, as you say, but equally, like with the shoe thing, I can't put myself through it. I'd fall over. I'm ashamed that I'd fall over in a heel because I love a heeled shoe. R.I.P. heeled shoes.
So the only heeled shoe I've actually seen here is for the wedding that happened yesterday. There was a lovely wedding, wasn't there, that we watched?
There was a lovely wedding. And what happened, Veronica, when we watched the wedding yesterday of the people that you've never met before?
Lots of tears were shed for complete strangers because it was just so beautiful, and obviously with my emotional fucking instability, constant emotional instability, I was blubbing away on my sunlounger. And I even put my cover up on out of respect because I thought, you do not want two pigs in the background of your pictures lolloping around on their sunlounger.
With their cocktails.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want that in anyone's memory.
We'd be photoshopped out in an instant, wouldn't we?
I hope so, if there was any glimpses. But I did notice the photographers were pointing more out to the lovely view.
Well, yes, and as beautiful as this view is, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been so nice to be weighted on hand and foot, hasn't it? To have these pressures taken away from us that we normally have in life.
Yeah. And so is it going to be worse when we get back? We'll let you know, but will it be worse? Will we come back full pig mode? Because we'll be really...
We're going to have post-holiday depression. That's going to be the first thing that's going to happen, is we'll come home and we'll have post-holiday depression. But my way of getting round post-holiday depression is quite simply booking another holiday to have something to look forward to.
Well, we have sort of decided that we are a good foursome to go on holiday.
For sure.
We've done like Cornwall, we've done like the at-home UK holidays rather, but we've not done an abroad one. It has worked out quite well with the four of us.
It's been marvellous.
So our sun loungers, there's 4 sun loungers. We instantly move 2 of the sun loungers completely close together, so that's me and you in the middle, and then we have a hogsband,
like a pair of bookends.
Side. Yeah, to containers, and then they listen to their stuff on their phones, or they go
have
to
a nap,
sleep, and then we just sit there waffling in the middle, drinking our
people
cocktails.
Watching, waffling, making our plans. We had all intentions to do certain things. I mean, it's taken us all week. We're on the last afternoon here doing this. We thought we'd do more of this. We thought we'd catch up with more of maths. We've got a whole week of that to catch up with, haven't we?
Hardcore relaxing takes time, though.
But the days fly by,
so you have to take these things out. You have to take the worky things out of it, even though it's fun to do. So the other thing I've noticed, we spoke about observations last week. Your words, your vocabulary, it's just disappeared. disappeared, hasn't it, on this holiday?
This week it's been particularly bad.
The amount of times you said the wrong words,
thing,
which has been very amusing for me, but it's like it's been full pelt for you.
Do you think that's because I'm relaxed, or do you think I'm a bit hormonal? What is it?
I think it's a hormone thing.
Because I was in a bit of a lully mood, wasn't I, for like 24 hours, which I was struggling with a little bit. Obviously, I'm
Can you remember any of the wrong words you said? Because I've gone completely blank now.
Of course we can't remember.
We should have written them down as they were happening.
We should have. So many things.
But it was stuff like, you know, like you'd be like, oh, I'm just going to go to the toilet or something, and you'd be like, I'm just going to get on the boat. It's so wrong, so bizarre.
Yeah, can't remember what they are now, but many of them. Getting the words muddled up is a horrible thing, and that's like pre-cocktail. That's nothing to do with the cocktails, by the way. Yeah, I have been a bit brain foggy.
If there's a symptom of the week, that is absolutely.
My brain foggy lack of being able to actually string a sentence together. Yeah, definitely.
But funny enough, even when you've said the complete opposite words, I've understood completely what you're saying.
Well, it's our own language, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like peri-gibberish.
Yeah. So you just know.
You know what I mean, because you understand me, because before I've made the decision to do what I'm going to do, you've read my mind anyway.
Whereas other people probably wouldn't. I wonder if like Peri Club people, do we all know that? So if we were talking to a random person that said something, a completely strange word in place of another, would we home in on that and know? Or is it just because it's me and you that we can decipher the language?
Yeah, probably a bit of both. I think I'd understand other people because you can just see that the word is so wrong. It's not just misunderstanding what something means.
It's just completely random.
Yeah. Very odd. Very, very weird.
A glass, a tree, or something like that.
Is it because I'm so relaxed? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know. Bizarre. Definitely my symptom. Have you had any symptoms this week? We've slept better, haven't we?
We have. We've slept better.
Sleep is normally a big issue for us.
Might be a bit of alcohol that's helped me, and then also I think when I had my 20-minute snooze on the sunlounger the other day, I was powering down. I felt myself just going, and I said, like, wake me up after 20 minutes, because apparently that's the optimum nap time, because otherwise I just wake up and I feel awful, and I've got the massive FOMO where I just don't want to miss out on anything. And every 20 minutes I'm asleep, I'm not with you. And
I don't like it. I watched you the whole time you were asleep, and I counted 20 minutes down on my phone, and literally on 19 and a half minutes, I was just about to put "wake me up before you go" on my phone by Wham to wake you up, but the lady in the mobility scooter decided to reverse, put her reverse sensors on, which woke you up, which was quite funny. Literally just at the perfect time.
I probably thought it was you coming towards me.
You probably did think it was me, yeah. And up you woke.
Yeah.
Fresh as a daisy.
I did feel better for it.
Yeah, I can't do a nap. We've talked about the napping.
Yeah.
You've tried to get me to power nap in my lunch break. I'm like, don't be ridiculous. Cannot nap under pressure. You just made that decision. I'm going to nap now. It's the longest 20 minutes of my life.
I've just done a yawn as well, because I'm lying here, lolloped on the sunlounger. So I'm lying on my sunlounger, but I've got my feet on your sunlounger. So we're connected at all times. But yeah, I do feel a little bit yawny. But that's probably the cocktails kicking in now.
No. Well, you can't go to sleep now because there's not much of the holiday left, sadly.
I know, yeah.
We're on the countdown now. We've got one more evening, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've got one more trauma of getting ready tonight, one more evening out, and then an early start tomorrow before we have to make our... God knows what we're going to endure at that airport.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that.
I think we're going to probably activate full pig mode.
What's that on me? Oh, it's a fly. Get off me. How dare you?
We're going to have to activate full pig mode at the airport. We won't want to, but it will happen because we'll be miserable that we're going back.
It's like ripping off a plaster. Once I wake up tomorrow morning, I just want to get home because I know I'm going home. I'm glad we're going early in the morning because it's just get up and go. It won't be sunny and lovely at that point in time, so we won't feel like we're missing out on a hot, sunny day. The warmer
clothes will need to go back on. Ugh, awful.
Vile.
But we shall survive, and then we've got lots of stuff to analyse.
Well, it's the beginning of the summer,
isn't
it? We're not even in the summer, really, are we?
And ultimately, we just need to book the next one in. So let's cheer ourselves up by sort of planning for that. I think right here, right now, what we need to do, because my glass is empty.
My glass is empty,
and I couldn't
see the waiter Because the waiters normally come past your sun loungers and they offer you drinks.
As my husband came by,
we did suggest you might want to...
I did say, if you're coming back this way, can you please bring us a Corfu land cocktail?
He's failed.
He's failed, so I think he's joined in with the games over there. They're doing a pétanque type thing.
Oh, has he gone to do that?
Yeah, that's where he was off to.
Oh, I'm jealous. Okay,
So shall we go and find him and go to the bar en route, get a cocktail, and then go and find him and see if there's anything we can join in on? How about that?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's go, Veronica.
Let's go, Penelope. Well, thank you for joining us once again. Thanks for joining the Stay Abroad. So hope you've got some stuff booked in. And oink, oink. See you on the next one.
Oompa!
Oompa. Thanks for hanging out in the Peri-Pigs Sty with us.
If you had a good time, give us a follow or hit subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And if you know someone who'd enjoy this too, share it around and spread the Peri-Pig love.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok.
Come and say hi and drop us a comment to let us know how you are.